What's going on, everyone? Welcome to On the Deck. I have Matt from Heroes for Hire here with me. Matt, how you doing?
I'm great. I hope you're doing good.
I'm good. Unfortunately, Dan's not going to be here today. They've had a little issue with their family, so they lost a pet this week. They had to put it to sleep, so he was just feeling down. So he'll be back next week. If you've ever lost a pet, you know how hard that can be.
Yeah, I've lost a dog last year, so I know exactly how it feels.
I got you. Yeah, it's been probably 9 years since I lost my dog, and we never got a new one, man. It was just too rough. It was rough. He was just one of those junkyard dogs, but I loved him. Anyways, Matt, this is your first time on the Lookout with us. We're just going to be going over some of the number one comic books that came out this week. I think I have 12 slides. I didn't put everything on there, but I put, some of the stuff that looked interesting, the things that Dan might have thought was interesting. So I read maybe half. I think you said you read a few. So hopefully we can have some good conversation what we thought of them, and the ones that we didn't read at all, we'll just take a guess based off the synopsis and on the covers. That's about it.
Okay.
All right, Matt. And everyone, this is my first time ever doing a live stream where I'm controlling it. So please bear with me because I'm bound to mess something up. So let's give it a shot. Let me see if I can do this right. Hey, look at that.
You did it. So far, so good.
All right. So the first one, Matt, was Bring On the Bad Guys, Abomination #1. The devil made him do it. Emil Blonsky is never one to turn down a good deal. Whether it's hold on, I have dyslexia. Whether it's to fell the mighty Grootslang in exchange for his freedom from a Wakandan prison, or to collect the soul on behalf of Mephisto for a mysterious boon, the abomination is always the monster for the job, and he's going to prove it once and for all. The writer is Philip Kennedy Johnson, and the artist is Sergio Fernandez Davila. Matt, did you read this one by chance?
No, I didn't. But it sounds like Abomination's like a mercenary, right? In this.
Yes.
So
yes,
I mean that'd be pretty cool. Like he's kind of a ex-soldier, so it would make sense that he would probably be a mercenary. And,
yeah. So I read it. Basically, this is all these Bring On the Bad Guys. I read the Green Goblin one, and that one was pretty good. It looks like they're trying to establish them in a new phase of Marvel, maybe, because it seems like they're trying to put this in continuity. So he's basically in prison in Wakanda. A young analyst is sent in to make him a deal and let him know that he asked to be transferred to his country of origin, which I think is Croatia.
Yeah,
and it was denied. But they have a deal for him that there's an excavation, an ancient Wakandan excavation that they found. And all of the archaeologists disappeared. The locals who go to the excavation disappear. And two of the, I don't know how to pronounce it, the women guards of Wakanda, what are they called? The Marilaje or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I just call them Black Panther's bodyguards.
Yeah, two of them went... Two of them went and they didn't come back. So now they're like, okay, we need to send somebody with some, firepower. So they offer him the job. And if he gets it, that he's going to get released. But he doesn't believe them, Blonsky being a spy before. And they actually have him here as pretty intelligent. Sometimes they make him dumb, sometimes make him intelligent. He's really intelligent here. So he knows that they're going to betray him. But he takes the deal anyways because it's his best chance. He goes, he finds out what's going on. It's an old, ancient, mystic thing of somebody who was betrayed by their own people back in the day. And at the end, he succeeds in his mission. But you also find out that he also helped orchestrate the whole thing because he had to deal with Mephisto. And he needed to pay his debt. And this was his best way to do it. So I actually really enjoyed it. I didn't think I was going to. The art was pretty good. Some of these covers on here were great. Well, as in a lot of these Bring On the Bad Guys. But I enjoyed it, Matt. Does that sound like something you would be interested in?
Yeah. Well, also the writer is Philip Kennedy Johnson, who writes for probably one of my favorite Marvel series, Incredible Hulk.
Oh, well then perfect. Oh, I didn't mean to do that, but anyways, Matt, would you mind reading this one?
Yeah, I got it. Catacomb of Torment #1. Behold, a bloody new ongoing series. Out of the ashes of epitaphs from the abyss, we usher the tormentor, a new horror host, with an unhealthy interest in human anatomy, into the shadow-strewn halls of EC Comics history for our next monthly horror anthology. Hold on to your head, if it's still attached, because no one escapes the Catacomb of Torment. Multiple writers, cover artist Dan McLeod and David Lapham, or no, is that the inside, I guess. And I didn't read this one, but I did read some of the epitaphs from the abyss. So if it's anything like that, it's going to be a modern telling of EC stories, EC horror stories. And I like epitaphs and blood top. Like I said, I'm kind of sworn off buying new comics, but based on what I read the last one, I kind of recommend it. And it's only a financial reason, by the way. It's only financial reasons because I still enjoy some of the writing, but I'm slowing down on picking up new things,
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, Matt. Ever since I started doing my streams and doing my FOC videos, and I really had to look at because I would put my totals at the end, and I saw that my FOCs were 43 and 45 books. I've been reevaluating how I collect. So last week I had a 25, which is still high, but better. And this week was 23. So I'm going in the right direction. But like
I got it down to about 17 a month now, I think.
Okay, that's good because I'm in the same boat as you, Matt. I want to start buying some grails. I want to start, getting some big boy books and, not so many of these, new FOC books, unless it's something I just really, really want.
I'm looking at 3 different copies right now, graded copies of Superman 233. That's my next big get.
Oh, nice.
Because now that Superman's out, I'm kind of I don't know. It's kind of, even though I already love Superman, it's kind of reignited my love of collecting Superman comics, especially from the Silver and Bronze Age. Early Bronze Age are the best ones. So
I hear you. I want to start collecting some Golden Age Fawcett comics. The Shazam family or the Captain Marvel family, the Mary Marvel and all those. I would love to start getting those. Even if I got to get non-graded.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good, Matt. But you know what? Like I said, I'm going to mess things up. I forgot to say hello to the chat, Matt. So let me go ahead and start doing that.
Okay.
We got Pops in here. Pops is such a great supporter. Every time I put up a video, he is just about always the first one to watch it, the first one to give me a like, and the first one to leave a comment, no matter what. As it could be 20 minutes after I put it up.
He's a good dude.
Yeah. Pops is a great guy. And then, he told you, how's it going, Matt? We have Pat 318 Angel saying, hey, Nerdy and Matt. We have Nessa
that was when you were saying
yeah. Like I said, I forgot to do all these.
Your screen.
Yeah. And that looks like that's all the comments we got right now. But
if you want me to read all the explanations, I don't mind. I don't mind reading it.
Well, usually the way Dan and I do it is we take turns, and then whoever the guest is will take the third turn. So we'll just go every other one.
Okay.
So I didn't read this one either. I forgot to put this on my FOC because I was trying to cut books out. I really did like Epitaphs from the Abyss, like you said. All those Lee Bermejo covers were so good. I loved all those covers. This is probably the only one I would have liked to have gotten. I think this was the 1 in 10, the homage to one of the pre-code horror books. Same thing.
Spent Stories number 22, I think.
Yeah. So, like I said, if the budget allowed, I would have picked this up. But I did enjoy Epitaphs, like you said. If you're into horror, all these new, EC homages have been pretty good. They've been at least some great covers. So if that's something you're interested, pick it up. Same thing as, Matt and I are in the same boat. We're trying to change our collecting habits and get into more big boy books. That's the only reason we passed it up. But otherwise, it sounds like we both would have been interested in it.
Yeah, and it's they're easy to read. It's like 3 short stories.
Yeah.
And the art's pretty good. So
yeah, because in the synopsis, this is all I put on here, but it actually did give 3 more example or little synopsis of what each story was going to be about. I think actually the 3rd story in this one is one of the original pre-code horror stories.
Right.
So makes me kind of want to pick it up just to give it a go, because I've never actually read those, but everyone talks about how great they are.
And they all have a narrator. Like back in the day, if this is the same thing, like with the Tales of the Crypt, they always had the narrator narrating what was going on.
All right, let's go to the next one, Matt.
Let's do it.
So we have Dread the Hall H #1. It's comic convention season, and what better way to celebrate Comic Cons than this extra linked anthology filled with con-related horror stories. Last year, they skewered all things Christmas on the pages of Dread the Halls, and now the writers bring terrifying convention tales to life. The perfect and perfectly terrifying comic to read while waiting to get into the massive convention hall. There was multiple writers on this, Matt, and multiple artists on this, so I just put that on there. There was some great covers by Maria Wolf on this series. I actually really wanted to pick some of these up, but for the same reason, I didn't get all of them. I did grab one though. So, did you read this?
No, but I wanted to. But you told me it was so long. I was like, oh, I don't know if I have time. I had a lot going on.
Yeah,
I like the cover. He's eating a slab.
Yeah, it was actually. It was interesting. I'm not going to say it was a great read. I only got through the first 3 stories. It seemed like there was 5. And the first story actually kind of like went all the way through. It started, then it went to the next story, then back to the first one, then another story, then it finally ended it. But it's, we've all been to that comic convention, or we've all seen the panels online where it gets to the point where they're at the end of the panel and there's that one last person who's got to ask a question. That's what the first story is. And basically they're like, hey, we got 5 minutes. We got time for one more question. You can tell both people on the panel just want to get out of there. They're done talking about their thing. And it's, of course, that one guy who's like, well, I actually got one question. Well, it's actually a 2-part statement and question. And then he just goes on and on this whole diatribe that has nothing to do with the question at all. And you can just see that everybody's getting bored. And then actually it just ends that way and goes to the next story. And then it goes back to him. I think it's supposed to give you that sense of like, oh, can this guy just finish getting his thing out so we can get out of here? But the second story is these people who go to Comic-Con, or they don't call it Comic-Con, they call it something else con. It's something con, I forget what it is. And basically the whole time they're there, they're not actually there at Comic-Con they're there to get in line, but they're, you've seen it how like, oh, this line is capped, this line is capped, this line is capped. And one of them says, look, I was ready to come to Comic-Con to wait in line. I was not ready to come to Comic-Con to wait to be able to get into a line. And so they finally leave. They try and go to the events that are outside of the con. Still the same thing, full of lines. But then there's one house there that looks old and decrepit, like a haunted house. They're like, oh, this is cool. Look at the production value on this thing. And look, no line. So they walk in. They find what is a demon-looking thing. I think it's supposed to be Hades. And he basically is telling them, hey, come in. I can show you all these wonders and give you a tour. And they're like, wow, what production value. Dude, you look really cool. But it's actual Hades, of course. They get locked in. They have to D&D their way out of it. And they end up getting out of it and basically become the lords of the underworld. and that's how that story ends before it goes back to the original story. So it was an interesting read. It's nothing great. This is probably for me more of a cover buy than anything. But does that sound like something that would interest you?
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. I mean, we've all been to a con and got, oh man, you don't want to hear that word either. Oh, sorry, the line has been capped. That is like a scary thing to a comic book nerd. I'm telling you right now. They did it. The Scotty Young's line was capped all weekend when I was there. But I did manage to get into Chris Claremont's before it was capped. And you'll see, like, when they tell people trying to come up and they're good, it's capped. They're like, oh.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
yeah,
oh,
that's one of the worst things you can hear is like, sorry, line's capped. Or when you get to the table, they're like, sorry, we're sold out. Those are the two worst things you can hear at a con. Yeah. I mean, it does give you that feeling of the con. Like, the writers of this have been to cons. They know exactly what it's like. So for that, it is interesting, but it was okay. It wasn't. I'm not going to say it was terrible. It wasn't terrible. It was all right. It was an okay read. So if it sounds interesting to you, y'all go ahead and try and pick one up if y'all want. But like I said, there was a lot of great covers on this. I think there was like 4 or 5
for the cover.
Yeah, there was a ton of great covers on these. They all pretty much look like this too. So. All right, so I guess you and I are both going to recommend it based on the covers alone, but the story was okay. If you're a con goer, you're going to relate to it. Let's go to the next one. You got this one, Matt?
No, I didn't read it. I'm not a big gargoyles. Like, I think that was past my time period as a kid.
Yeah.
But I read the free comic book day one.
Okay.
I mean, it was all right. I can read it. I'm sorry. 1,000 Years of Adventure begins here. I thought you asked me if I read it. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
Adventure begins here. The year is 1093, and the now immortal Demona has become a lonely and hunted creature, bereft of both clan and home after her betrayal of Scotland's king. She wanders south to Northumberland in search of a safe haven, only to find that her old nemesis, Canmore, is raiding the city. Writer Greg Weisman, artist Frank Parr. And this is based on the Disney Gargoyles.
Yes. So I watched this series as a kid. I really don't remember like any of the storylines. I remember like they brought the castle to the top of a building in New York or something. Is that right?
Yeah.
Did you watch it as a kid? Yeah, and then
I didn't really watch it, but I think that's the gist of it.
Yeah, and so I remember there was like some New York City cop who kind of helped them, and there was like a business guy who was evil. And I do remember he was voiced by Riker from Star Trek: The Next Generation. Whose name is slipping me right now. Jonathan Frakes, that's it. Oh, yeah. But I gave this a read. It was all right. I mean, basically, Demona it was back in, I think, 1083, where Scotland is in turmoil as they're trying to figure out who's going to be in charge of Scotland, who's going to rule it. And there's a usurper who wants to take over. So he summons a demon straight from hell, and that's Demona. But she ends up betraying him, I think, because it was kind of confusing. Like the narration kind of confused me on who was actually telling the story. And then the names were so weird, some of those older names that I couldn't, when you see it written, and then since you can't pronounce it, you really can't remember it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it was one of those. So she ends up betraying him, but he was also betraying the gargoyles at the same time. So he gets taken out. A king, a young kid who, or probably in his teens or 20s, gets named the king, and he's the king for a long time. And they end up like slaughtering a lot of the gargoyle clans because they know that they can be used to take power. So then it goes to 10 years later. Demona's back. She's happy to find a clan of gargoyles. And now the King of England is there or one of his representatives is there in Scotland, and he's told them to that basically they feel like they're not getting the proper respect in England. The king isn't getting the proper respect. So he's making a deal with the nobleman saying that we're going to have to show y'all of some force. So, people know to fear the king. So we're going to leave you, noblemen alone, but we're going to go attack the peasants and burn their towns to the ground just so people know that we mean business. And they make that deal. And then the story goes on from there. It was fine. She gets her revenge because some more gargoyle clans are slaughtered. It wasn't for me. If you're into gargoyles, maybe you'll like it, but I would probably pass on it. I'm not going to get a second issue. I mean, it was okay. Does that sound like something that would interest you, or are you probably going to pass too?
I'll pass. I never watched the show, so.
Yeah, so I mean, this cover art was great. I picked the one that was done by Mark Spears. I picked up one of his covers, but yeah, it didn't get my attention enough. She seemed like she could be a cool character, but I'm just so not into it, and they don't really do any world building. It's just more of a backstory.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like you have to be a Gargoyles fan to actually get into it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say I'm going to pass. Sounds like you're saying the same thing, but hey, if y'all are interested in it and y'all like Gargoyles, go get it, because you collect and read what you like. Don't listen to us.
Yeah, I'm just an old fart. I'm not too familiar with it.
So here, perfect. We have Ghost Pepper #1. Humanity survived a monstrous threat, but the world isn't better for everyone. Every day, Loloe hits the road to deliver her delicious cooking to the masses, outsmarting her treacherous competition and staying one step ahead of the massive robots protecting them all. But everything changes when she serves a mysterious warrior named Ash, whose secret might just save the world if his superhuman strength doesn't destroy it first. And the writer and artist is Lullaby. I'm hoping that's right. So you read it. What did you think?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of got an interesting anime style to it. It reminded me of like an anime.
Yes.
Then I'm like, okay, it starts out, you're like, okay, dystopian future, but then it starts to get into this, like she's got a food truck, and then it's got another guy that's got a restaurant. And I'm like, wait a minute, is this about like food trucks in the future? But then so I was kind of confused, and then like the Ash guy shows up, and just like these robots come down. I don't know why they come down. I guess they didn't know who he was. He said, "You got to identify yourself. I'm eating. Leave me alone." And then so he like destroys one of them. And they all start running away, which is the head guy. Didn't he like get freaked out because, well, why would they run away from a person?
Yes.
And he sees the person, and then he goes, "Oh no, I didn't think he would come back." So, but we don't know who he is. And then then he ends up in her truck and helps her move this obstacle in the road or something. And then she kind of gets a backstory because he's got like this robot guy with him or something. That like
a little pet robot on his shoulder.
Yeah. And it kind of lost me. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It was interesting, but it kind of lost me.
Hey, what's up, Dan?
And I felt it was a little long too.
It was. It felt like right when it was going to end, it just kept going.
I was just looking for a stopping point, and I got to admit, I may not have read the last 5 pages. I was just in a hurry, and I don't know that I would recommend it unless you just like weird shit. But it's from Skybound, which is interesting. That they would, I don't know, but if you're going to get something from Skybound that's not Transformers, get Blood and Thunder. It's better than this.
So, I was the same as you. It was okay. Dystopian future, got it. Anime style, got it. I'm good with that. And then it just seems like, this is going from dystopian future to like, oh no, look, we still have villages and towns, and our technology is more advanced than what we have right now. But then it goes into some crazy thing where like this guy has superpowers, just like you said. There's robots, there's giant robots and smaller versions of the giant robots that come out of there. And then we get introduced to another character who's called the Observer or something. And yeah, it's just like you said, it was all over the place. I do feel like it had potential to be a good story. Like that main character that on the cover right here, she seemed like an interesting character. And obviously the title is called Ghost Pepper. She makes food using ghost peppers that everyone seems to love and enjoy. But then that's all the references we get to ghost pepper in the entire book. So I don't know what actually we're supposed to be seeing here. Is it that main guy? Is it her?
Yeah, no. Did the ghost pepper save the world or something?
Yeah. So it wasn't a bad read. I just think they didn't introduce us enough into what the story's going to be about. That's what I felt like. It felt like they were just trying to throw so much in there that you don't know what you're supposed to focus on. That's how I felt.
I felt the same way about the one we reviewed on Bruce's show the other day about like those kids in some Magic Academy thing. It seemed like a rip-off of Strange Academy. And then I was just like, okay, you just throw us in and I don't know what's going on. You can't do that to me. I have to know what's going on. Why is it? Because I mean, they almost put this out like it was like a continuation of something else or something.
Yes, that is what it felt like. Yeah, you're right. That's exactly how I felt while I was reading it. I'm like, wait, is there a backstory that I'm supposed to know before this? Because that's exactly what it felt like. So, I mean, if it sounds interesting to you guys, give it a look, give it a go. I'm probably not going to give it a second issue. I mean, especially based on trying to get my FOCs down. But I did like this cover. I don't have the Catwoman 51 by Adam Hughes, but I do pick up all the homages whenever I can. So I did pick this cover up. Matt, you going to recommend it or are you going to stay away from it?
I would stay away unless you just like weird stuff.
I
do like weird stuff, but I don't know. This is not for me. It's not for me. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, it wasn't for us guys, but if you're into it, go read it. And then leave us a comment telling us how wrong we are and we're not even great comic book fans.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Okay, here we have Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe #1. Look out, New York. A previously dormant Godzilla has been angrily awoken and begun carving a path of annihilation as Earth's mightiest heroes band together to try and stop its cataclysmic rampage. But when their combined efforts fail to slow the bringer of destruction, Earth's heroes are forced to go to extraordinary lengths to try and bring Godzilla down, including joining forces with Earth's most devious villains. But will this be enough to stop Godzilla as it tears straight through the Marvel Universe into a dark dimension and other realms? So the writer is Gary Duggan and artist is Javier Garvon. Did you pick this one up, Matt?
I didn't pick it up, but I did read it today online.
All right. What did you think?
I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. Like the Mole Man is in there, like the first of it, and he finds a bunch of like unique vibranium, and his people mind, and he thinks he can get this weapon, and he ends up waking up Godzilla, who's asleep. And it doesn't just wake him up, and then like you realize they're in real deep doo-doo when it wakes up a Celestial that's supposed to not wake up for a million years. Reed knew about it. He said, but he's not supposed to wake up for a million years. And usually if a Celestial pops out of the ground, you need to start worrying about that. But then Godzilla just sees it and goes, you know what? Not today, buddy. And he just tears through him like he's a wet paper bag, like he's a pack of Kleenex, or like me eating a brisket. And then they're like, and then you see like the look of what's funny is like you see the look of the Fantastic Four, like Johnny and Oliver, like, oh, we're cooked.
Yes.
And then like Reed tries to take it to the negative zone, but that doesn't work out. And then at the end of it, you see like the heroes for hire, the street level heroes come to help. like you see Miles and Spider-Gwen and Spider-Man and Luke Cage and Iron Fist.
Yeah.
And Daredevil and all those guys show up. I don't know what Daredevil could do against Godzilla. I don't know what a lot of these guys could do against Godzilla, but then then they got Black Panther says I've never seen vibranium like this too. So it's kind of got interesting. So then he goes back because he thinks he can figure out how to beat it. And I guess they're going to have to team up with the villains in the next one. But then the Avengers show up. I like what Thor. Remember when Thor comes down?
Yes, I was waiting for that.
Oh yeah, what's going on, guys? And he gets knocked out in the orbit. And
yes, one hit.
And Captain Marvel's like, "I'll go get him."
Yeah, he shows up like a conquering hero. Like, I got this, guys. I'm here. And then Godzilla swats him with his tail straight into space, and he is just cold knocked out. Yeah, that was good.
So
yeah, but like you said,
trouble. I don't know. And like the Mole Man's like, I like the other part where Mole Man's like, ready to go, help us, Mr. Fantastic. And they're like, he's asking us for help. And he goes, well, the Celestial, he goes, no, don't worry about that guy. That's who you got to be worried about.
Yes, and, that was
Godzilla
awesome.
Doesn't care if you're a Celestial or Thanos or anything. He's just going to get you.
Yeah. So this was a raging Godzilla. Like, he was just pissed. He was, looking out. This was, just a rage-filled Godzilla. Imagine Hulk, whenever he's pissed off, that's how Godzilla was in this issue. And I liked it. Of all the Godzilla series so far, this was my favorite.
Imagine just going to sleep and you're tired. Maybe you haven't been to bed in like 24 hours and you just lay down and somebody wakes you up and you've had no coffee. You just woke up again. You try to go to sleep. That's how pissed off Godzilla is.
Yeah. So there was a lot of great covers in all these Godzilla versus series. Most of these have been cover buys. And with this one, this was another great series with a lot of great covers. This is cover A by Mark Brooks. And it's actually a wraparound cover. But, man, it's just great cover right here. I mean, he's got all the Marvel characters surrounded there. Everyone is done with detail. Godzilla looks great, right there framed in the middle. You got the city background. I mean, this was just a great cover by Mark Brooks for me. I loved it.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah. So I think we're both going to agree. This is a recommend. Yeah. Guys, recommend it. Great covers, great artwork inside, and it was a fun story. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. All right, let's go to our next one.
Post Malone's Big Rig issue 1. They prayed for a miracle. They got 25 tons and 18 wheels of holy weapon. The Dark Ages. Demon hordes plague Europe as hell invades Earth. The Six Petals, a secret sect of the Knights Templar, are in a desperate need of a means to drive back the scourge and turn the tide of the onslaught. What crashes the Earth is the rig. A fully loaded tractor trailer. In the aftermath of its arrival, the only man left standing is an enigmatic former priest excommunicated from the Six Petals. He will become trucker and lead the fight against hell behind the wheel of a demon-slaying machine. Writer is Adrian F. Wazell and Post Malone. Artist Nathan Gordon.
So I did not read this one, even though I picked it up. I just had a lot to read this week, and this one just didn't make the cut so far.
And that's the peach cover, right?
Yes, this is the peach cover. This is what the regular ones.
I read issue 0.
And what did you think?
I liked it. I'm kind of bummed I didn't get this one, but it's just like a crazy idea. This rig just shows up, and they're like, I don't know. I haven't read this issue though, but I liked it, and the fact that Post Malone, I don't know if anybody knows this, but he's one of us.
Yes. He
collects Magic, the Gathering cards, and comic books, and Pokemon, and he's definitely one of us.
Yeah, so I didn't read the Free Comic Book Day issue. I did pick it up because I know everyone was talking about, hey, that's one you got to grab. Of course, because it's Post Malone, but I've heard a lot of people talk about how they actually enjoyed the story or it actually sounds interesting. And from what I've been hearing, most people are liking issue 1. I picked it up. I just haven't had a chance to read it. That's it. I mean, that was a lot of books to read for us this week, and then we got tomorrow's show that we have those books to read. So there's a lot of work going into putting in YouTube comic books, guys. Especially when you actually read them and you're not just showing the covers.
Yep.
Take it from a dyslexic who has ADHD. It's not easy. But there was some great covers. I know they came out with that blind box where I think you get 11 covers, and one of them was a potential 1 in 500 or a 1 in 10,000. Wow. I did grab one of those boxes. Best book I got was a 2 in 25. So, you get what you get. You don't throw a fit. But I did pick up this Maria Wolf cover. And Matt, you said you didn't get any. Since I did get that box, I do have extra. Like in that box, you get 7 of one cover, 4 of an or 3 of another one, and then your 1 ratio. I can send you some of those, Matt.
Okay.
Yeah, I got tons of extras.
Do you have any extras of that Lady Imperator? I kind of wanted to read it.
Oh yes, let me look for those. I've been wanting to go through my comics and put them in, my new comics in, Marvel, DC, and Indie. Yeah. I just need to go through those so I can get them all together because I do want to start selling a whatnot. Not so much to make money, but I have way too much stuff, man. I got boxes and boxes of comics that it's like, yeah, I need to start getting rid of this stuff. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to stop collecting because I'm running out of space. So I got to do it anyways. Hopefully in a week or 2, I'll have a new studio that I can record in because this is actually my son's room. And I just happen to put my stuff in here, but I need to get it out so he has more room. And by studio, I mean a 10 by 10 foot room where I can record.
Well, I'm looking for that too. I have a garage, the new house we're moving into. Got a garage that's separate from the house, and it's got electricity running to it.
Nice.
The only problem is it has that, that metal like siding they used to put on houses in the 60s.
Yeah.
Like the little squares. One of them fell down the tile, and there's a big hole going in there, and anything animals get in there, I got to put sheetrock up in it. So when we move up there, I'm not going to be able to move in immediately to it. But yeah, I'm hoping to have a new, because where I'm at, I'm right next to the kitchen. So when my family's over there and they're cooking, it's so noisy you can't do anything. So
yeah. So the important thing though, Matt, is are you going to have AC and heating in there?
Yes.
Perfect.
I'm going to get one of those units that goes in, that has both, I think it's like both heat and air on it.
Yeah, those ones that go like on the top of the ceiling.
Yeah, like
in the foreign countries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been thinking about doing the same thing. For a while, I was toying with seeing if my wife would let me buy, one of those big sheds from Home Depot.
Yeah.
Like maybe I don't know, a 12 by 20 or something like that, and turn that into my recording studio. But that was going to be really pricey. So, and right now we have a room that we're really not using for anything except just putting stuff in there. So we're going to clean that out and turn that into a studio for me. And then my daughter, seeing me do this now, she watches YouTube all day. She wants to start making videos. So we're probably going to do half of it for me and half of it for her.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she wants to start doing her little toy reviews just like Ryan and all those. So, hey, maybe it'll work out.
I think it will. I think it'll be fine.
So anyways, back to this, Matt. It seems like an interesting story. I am going to read it. I just didn't have time. Like I said, from everyone I've talked to, they've actually said some good things about it. They've actually enjoyed it. So I'm going to give it a read. I'm going to probably pick up issue 2, at the minimum.
I want that just because that Peach Momoko cover. Yeah, I love it when she does stuff that's not superhero related.
Yeah. Some of her best stuff is non-superhero related stuff.
I agree.
Yeah. I wish I could have gotten one of those 1 in 500s or that 1 of 1. Oh, that would have been sweet. That would have been like hitting the lottery. But guys, if y'all like this, there's a lot of great covers for the at least. But give it a read. Matt said he read issue 0, and that it piqued his interest. So Give it a shot if you want.
Unfortunately,
let's get to the next one.
The Momoko one's already sold out almost everywhere.
Interesting. All right. Now we have Rebel Moon Nemesis #1, a brand new comic series that recounts the origins of Nemesis, taking place before she came to the sword-wielding cyborg assassin. I'm sorry, before she became the sword-wielding cyborg assassin. This is an action-packed and badass story in the style of a revenge western, in which an innocent woman finds herself in the path of Imperium soldiers who slaughtered her family. The writer is Gail Simone, based off of the story by Zack Snyder, and the artist is Federico Bertoni.
Is this part of the Millerverse stuff?
The Snyderverse.
Oh, Snyderverse. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can see it on the top right there. It says Zack Snyder.
The Nemesis thing is what throws me off, because Miller has a character called Nemesis.
Oh, okay, I got you. No, this is the Snyderverse. You know that Rebel Moon movie he made that a lot of people didn't like?
Okay.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it. I hate to admit it, but I've never seen it.
I didn't either. It didn't get a lot of great reviews. It looked like it was going to be cool, but the reviews were so bad that I'm like, I don't know if I want to give it a shot. I did pick it up. I tried to read it. I could not get into it, Matt, and I just stopped reading after like 5 pages. I'm like, yeah, this isn't for me. I mean, that's the best I can do for you. So it seems like it may coincide with the way he wrote his movie, because a lot of people seem like they just didn't like it. So I can't recommend it, but if you like the Rebel Moon movie, maybe you'll like this. Give it a shot. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I've not read it. I've not watched Rebel Moon, but I'm sure if you're a fan of Zack Snyder, you'll probably like it, though. I mean, it looks kind of. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to read it.
I mean, the cover looks cool. The character looks really badass with those flaming swords. You know, that looks cool. But yeah, I tried, Matt, but I couldn't get past 5 pages, and I'm like, yeah, I'm out. The art was okay on the inside. It wasn't the best art either. You know, no offense to Federico Bertoni. I don't know what else he's done. I'm still relatively new to comics. You know, I only started collecting again a year ago after being off for 10 years. But if you're a Snyder fan and you like Rebel Moon, go give it a shot. Support your guy. I'm gonna pass.
Robert said Rebel Moon sucked. So I don't know.
Well, you know, like I said, that's pretty much what everybody said about Rebel Moon. So let's take, you know what? I'm going to trust Robert and his taste. I'm going to give it a pass. You're giving it a pass. Robert's giving it a pass. You know, but if you're a Snyder fan, go check it out.
Swap left on that one. Okay.
Here's the next one.
The crimson-maned warrior of song and legend muscles her way into trouble once more in this all-new tale of hard-boiled Hyboria. When her mercenary partner is murdered, Sonya is drawn into a feverish hunt for a priceless artifact known as the Crimson Calypso. The she-devil with a sword is out for revenge, but first she's got to slice her way through a web of deception and violence, waging a war of both weapons and wits against a pitiless and implacable foe. Writer David Avalon and artist Edu Mena. And that's a beautiful Michael Lisner cover of the sexy she-devil with a sword. I love Red Sonja. I've not read this one, but I have read the Red Sonja versus the Army of Darkness with Ash.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. And I always like Red Sonja. I'm a sword and sorcery type of guy, so I like her. I don't know what her armor could really do to help her. I don't think it really helps her much, but it looks kind of hot.
So I did read this one. I bought it. I read it. This was the first Red Sonja book I ever read, Matt. I had never read one before this. Yeah. I had never read one.
Well, I'm more a fan of her Marvel stuff, though. But I mean, yeah.
I didn't even know she was ever in Marvel.
Yeah, Conan the Barbarian. Her first appearance is like Conan 27 or something. I can't remember.
Okay.
And then she had her own solo series. And of course, there's been movies. There's another movie coming out soon, but I saw the trailer, and it looks like it should be on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh, I don't know why they like to do that.
I don't know. Probably
So,
because
like
they were like, let's make something cool. This IP we own, right? And they're just like,
yeah. I mean, sword and sorcerer movies, they don't get a lot of budgets. Even back in the day, they didn't get big budgets. It just, I mean, I know a lot of people talk down on Conan the Barbarian, but that first movie, first movie was really good. Like, it's not just a hack and slash, barbarian movie. There's actually a good story in there showing how he became who he was.
Well, those people just don't know good cinema if they don't think that's a good movie.
Yeah, speaking of good cinema, they should watch your good cinema series on Thursdays.
Yeah, we're going to be reviewing the Richard Donner 1978 film Superman, starring Christopher Reeves, Marlon Brando, and Gene Hackman, Ned Beatty, and Margot Kidder. Shameless plug. I got another shameless plug coming up after we do the reviews. So, all right.
Okay, no problem. So, like I said, this was the first Red Sonja I ever read. Usually, if I pick up Red Sonja, it's because it's a really good listener cover or Jenny Frison. We're all most of us are Jenny Frison fans, and she does some really good Red Sonja covers. Not a lot, but the ones she does are really nice.
Oh yeah, there's a version variant she did I really want to get, but it's kind of expensive.
Yeah, a lot of her older stuff, especially outside of the main Marvel and DC, it seemed like they're kind of pricey. So basically, this story is actually basically what the synopsis says. She finds a partner. They become swords for hire. A pretty girl walks into the bar and says, "Hey, I need help. My sister's been sold into slavery." Her partner is a guy. Of course, he falls for the girl and says, "Oh, I'll help you." And the girl says, "Well, I wanted to hire you both." He's like, "Nah, I can handle this on my own." As the synopsis says, he gets murdered. Sonja is woken up in the middle of the night to ask if she knows anything about her partner and what was going on. And when the guards take her to the crime scene, she automatically knows what happened or has a good idea of what happened. And the guards, are basically your typical ones where, they're incompetent. They don't know what's going on. They're just trying to get this solved, so it's off their desk, basically. They're trying to blame her. And she, it's your typical noir. There's a mystery. She gets involved. She finds out the mystery of it. She solves it at the end of the day. Everybody's happy. It was an okay read. I mean, it was my first Red Sonja. It wasn't bad. I would read another one based off of this one.
I would read it. I would read it.
Okay. Yeah, but I did pick this up. Like I said, I do like Linsner covers. Linsner does really good Red Sonja and Vampirella. If he ever starts getting into Marvel and DC, I'd be pretty happy. I'd like to see how he can do some of those characters because he always draws them really well. All right, let's go to the next one, Matt.
I have not read this one. I'll read it, though. I'll read the thing. Rosario Origins #1. Two young twin sisters, Griselda and Ximena, are part of a family of
Curanderas? Yeah, Curanderas.
Known as the Sisters of the Crescent Moon. They possess magical abilities and are prohibited from conjuring dark magic until Ximena succumbs to temptation. Now Griselda must embark on a perilous journey to stop her sinister transformation. Read the origin story of the terrifying feature film by David Desmosian, Polka Dot Man. Oh, yeah. Okay. Writer Alan Treza, artist Hugo Petrus. Okay. I've not read it, but they look like the sisters from The Shining right there.
They do look like the sisters from The Shining. I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, I didn't read this one either. I didn't pick it up because same thing we mentioned before, trying to keep those FOCs low. Although I didn't know that David Dismalchian wrote this. I heard he had written the Gun Honey, and I never read that one. But I'm like, well, let me give it a shot. So I read issue 1. It wasn't bad. It was actually decent. Did you ever read that one?
No, I've never read it. I've been
Yeah,
told to read it.
yeah, it was actually a decent little story. It wasn't bad. So I might go back and pick this up. I doubt it's something that's going to be hard to find. Um, Story sounds interesting. Cover was okay. I mean, other than looking like the creepy Shining sisters, there's not too much behind it. You know, that demon or whatever back there looks kind of cool, but they're really blocking it. I feel like it would have been nicer if we could have gotten more of the look of it. But story sounds cool. If it sounds like something that would interest you, pick it up. David Dismalchian actually is a decent writer, and I love him in all of his movies. He's a good character actor.
Oh yeah, I think he's great. He was in a movie called Late Night with the Devil. That one was pretty cool.
I did not see that one. I saw all of his mainstream stuff, all his Marvel and DC appearances. All right, so let's go to the next one. Yeah. Here we go. Red shirt or Star Trek Red Shirts #1. Now, finally, they get their own story. Led by an experienced officer embedded on the snow-ridden planet Arconia 89, the crew of the USS Warren has a small window in which to pin down spies seeking to steal classified secrets to keep Starfleet data out of their nefarious hands. They face threats not only from the faceless enemies, but from the brutalizing elements and wildlife of a planet far from home. The Red Shirts' lives and Starfleet's sanctity are on the line, and no one is safe. The writer is Christopher Cantwell, and artist is Megan Levins. I'm a Trekkie. I say it every time I can. I love Star Trek, and I love this book.
I read it, and I thought it was great. I kind of want to keep reading it. The cover's so dope. I love that cover. And
this was a great cover.
The Red Shirts have about as much life expectancy as a first lieutenant straight out of
OCS in Vietnam.
Yeah, in Vietnam. So
yeah,
they don't have a very long shelf life. Kind of like somebody probably on the first wave at Omaha Beach probably didn't have much of a life span. And as you can see from the Star Trek movies and the TV shows.
Yep.
But I just kind of like how they had the one guy. They kind of explain all the characters, and then you got the one guy. He's got a scar on his face, and he's like, he kind of just living on that one story because he just went to his first mission and got horribly scarred, and was like the lone survivor. And then you got all these guys. They're kind of like the ones that kind of survived their last assignment, right? And so they're going down there, and you got that one lady who's in charge, and she's like, "Oh, we're going on this. We're not getting beamed down. We're not going to take a shuttlecraft down. We're getting shot down in torpedoes, and then they'll beam you out as soon as before it hits the ground." So right away, we're like, "All right, some of them are not going to make it." And you kind of got the gruffy guy sitting there by himself with some alien monster outside that you can't see. And I don't know why Scotty never died. He was the engineer. But, you know what they say? Behind every red shirt is a captain, because they always send these guys to die first. They kind of say that in the show. And so they're it's kind of funny because they put them in the torpedoes. So the guy makes a comment, which is true. They have literally turned us into cannon fodder.
Yes. Yeah, it was great. So, Pops, my guess why Scotty never died is because he was an engineer, and all these red shirts are all security officers. So usually the red shirts tend to be security, depending on if it's TOS or TNG or one of the movies, the colors can switch here and there, but it all comes from the original series because those red shirts died. When Next Gen came out, the commanding crew actually wore red, which was different, but still the first guy to die in Star Trek Next Generation was a red shirt, and he was on the bridge. Mm-hmm. But I love this series. Like you said, they talk about the characters and who they are before the book even starts. You just get a synopsis of their name, their rank, and a little bit about them. And I thought it was interesting that the longest serving red shirt in Starfleet was 43 years old.
Yeah,
and as a security officer, and all the rest were like early 30s or mid 20s. Like that's the life expectancy of a red shirt. That the oldest is 43 years old. So they basically are in Potter.
The other thing is, like, what I like about this is the same thing I liked about Lower Decks. It's like we don't really focus on the commanding officers. You got it's like, well, what do the other guys do when they're not working or when they're not around the captain or the first officer? And so it's kind of cool to get their perspective on it, because we always got the perspective of Picard and all those guys, and Geordi LaForge and number one, Commander Rocker, and Commander Troy. But you never really got to talk. Every now and then they would have like an incident on there. One of my favorite episodes was actually when they had the guy that played Crazy Murdoch from the A-Team.
Oh yes,
come on there. And
Barkley.
Yeah. But he did a great guest starring role on there. And then usually though, when you saw a new guy show up like that, they're going to die. It's just It's like it's like somebody that has sex in a horror movie. They're going to get killed.
Yep, they're going to die. They're doing that, or they're taking drugs. They're out. Yeah, but Barkley on TNG, he was a really good character, and he always felt to me like he was a main character. Even though I don't think he was only in like 3 or 4 episodes of 7 seasons, but it felt like he was one of the crew. I always liked that.
Dwight Schultz, that's his name. Yeah.
Dwight Schultz? Yeah, I remember him as Murdoch in the original. Pops got it. Thank you, Pops. Yeah, so I love this book. I feel like if you're a Star Trek fan at all, you're probably going to enjoy it. It was a good read. It was a little bit longer, though. I wasn't expecting to be that long. You find it's basically what it says. Your main red shirt, the one who's 43 years old, he's been on that planet trying to survey the array, which is taking data on wind or solar winds, and they're trying to figure out why anybody would want to try and hack into that. What do they care about it? So they make a plan to try and find out who it is, basically by using the red shirts as bait. And the ship that they're on, the USS Warren, it's basically your is it Constitution class? Is that what the Enterprise is?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And they shoot him down. It was a fun read. I really liked it. If you're a Trekkie, you're definitely gonna want it. And there was all the covers on this series looked like they're gonna be great. This is actually, I think this is cover A, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a great 1 in 25 cover that's really cool too. I'm definitely going to read the entire series. I know I am, just as a Trekkie, but it was a really fun read. Matt liked it, so we're both recommending it. If you're a Star Trek fan, pick it up, and if you're not, give it a shot. Maybe you'll like it. Who knows? I always say, yes, live long and prosper, peace and long life. There's those people who are Star Trek or Star Wars. I don't pick. I am a Trekkie, but I love Star Wars too.
I don't get that. Like, you either have to like DC or Marvel, or have to like Star Trek or Star Wars. That's bull crap. I can like them all.
Yeah. I've never
like Babylon 5. So Far Fetched. So.
I've never watched those, but if you like them, I'm glad you like them. I just never got into
Farscape. Them. It was produced by Jim Henson's son.
I've heard good things about Farscape, but I just never watched those. I did like I love Battlestar. Like, I watched it as a kid, but then the new Battlestar that came out in the 2000s, that was so good. But anyways, guys, if you're a sci-fi or a Trekkie, give it a shot. Let's go to the next one. You read this one for me, Matt?
Yeah. This ends tonight, number 1. The pulse-pounding comic event of the summer aims for your jugular. This ends tonight is the kickoff of 3 interconnected tales of bloody revenge in Las Vegas. The debut issue stars 2 sisters hunted by assassins for their shocking family secret. It's an oversized, action-packed romp, and every panel is crushed with love by Jay Lee. Multiple writers and artist Jay Lee. Nice cover. That's Adam Hughes cover.
Yes, this is a 1 in 25 Adam Hughes cover, and then there was a 50 version of this. Yeah, you got to watch my FOCs, Matt. It was on there.
Oh God, I know. Well, I'm glad you warned me about. You told me that the this is off subject, so I apologize. But the Monster and the Wolf series,
yes,
going to have like the blind bags, and I'm glad you told me. I don't think they're. Somebody sent me and said, "Well, you can get them on Big Time Collectibles." And I said, "Only suckers pay retail." I'm going to be buying about 50 of them, and I'm going to get them on my comic shop for 35% off.
Oh, nice. You know what? I should have done that. I went to my LCS today, and I pre-ordered 50 of them, the same as you. But they give me 20% off. But then when you factor in shipping, it's still a little bit more than my comic shop, but I'll get them day of as opposed to having to wait.
Well, I'm just doing it I'll keep about 10 of them. I'll probably open about 10 of them or 12 of them, then I'm going to sell them and whatnot. I think it's going to be huge. I think I might be able to make some money off of it. That's why.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to change the subject. I'm sorry I changed the subject. I got to go to the bathroom real quick. I didn't read this, so I'll let you, if you can hold it down just for a minute. I got to go to the restroom.
I got you. No worries. All right. So this one, I did pick this one up. I did read it. This was a weird book, guys. Basically, it's like it says, it's 2 sisters. They're out partying. One sister, they're at a club called the Steak and Beef in Vegas, which evidently is a male strip club. And while they're there, one of the dancers pulls one of the sisters up. When the other sister notices that he's got a mark on his shoulder, which means he's some type of assassin. So she immediately attacks him and kills him there on stage, and then grabs her sister and runs to the back. And as they're running back there, it turns out that there's more of those assassins that are there. You don't know why they're after the sisters, but they're all running after them, trying to kill them. And while they're there, so there's a blonde sister and then there's a brunette sister. And the blonde one seems to be the one that knows everything that's going on. And the brunette is trying to figure out what it is and get the information from her sister the best she can. But of course, at the same time, the blonde sister is trying to defend them, keep them alive. And they escape. They get in a car. They immediately get surrounded and blocked off where they can't go anywhere. And then they got to fight their way out. And then they end up going back into another club where the blonde sister whispers something into the brunette's ear. And basically her ear turns into like an elf ear, which I think you might be able to see in this cover right here. And you find out that they're basically from a long descending line of elves that were in a battle for thousands of years, and the families don't even remember what the battle was about. They just know that they're still fighting to this day. And basically, both of their families have been wiped out, because now you find out that the brunette and the blonde are sisters raised, but they're not actual blood sisters. They've just been brought up together. And the brunette one had no idea about that at all. So it goes from that. So that's not even the weird part, guys. I said this was weird. It goes from that to then the brunette sister, all of a sudden, weird stuff starts to happen. If that wasn't weird enough, all of a sudden now she goes to she's back at another club where all the dancers are elves. And there's a bunch of people who look like they're junkies there. And then it turns out that she's watching her blonde sister who she had left earlier fighting one of the assassins. Now she walks into a room where they're on stage fighting like it's a play. And now she's thinking she's hallucinating. She was drugged. And then she's like, well, did I die? Is this like the last remnants of my life? Guys, it goes crazy. At the end, they're both on stretchers. They're both waking up, and you don't know what's happening. You don't know if all that actually happened, if it didn't happen, if one was hallucinating or not. And then it's going to be a 3-part series. So this is actually one story in it. Every book is going to have a different scenario of what's going on in the city, because they actually mentioned, like, when they're driving, they pass by a guy in a motorcycle with a machine gun shooting at another car, and they say, oh, we'll find out about them in a later issue. So it seems like every issue is going to tie into the same story, but they're their own individual stories. Guys, this was crazy. I want to say I recommend it, but wow, you really have to. It's interesting, but it is out there, Matt. I mean, I don't know else how to explain it otherwise. It's interesting. It's out there. The action was pretty good. You know, Jay Lee's art is great. So I'm going to recommend it, but I'm going to put the caveat that just be ready for anything, because this book was crazy. Did you pick it up, Matt?
No, I recommend it for the Adam Hughes variant.
Yeah, so this one was the Adam Hughes trade, 1 in 25, and there was a 1 in 50 Virgin variant.
I saw it. The guy wanted $29 what he's got on eBay, but he's got like a 97% rating. So I don't know.
Well, the thing about the rating is sometimes you gotta check. Sometimes people will say they'll complain about something that really is not the seller's fault or things like that. You never know.
That's true. Yeah, but I found one for $29.
Yeah, I think I got my 1 in 50 for 24, maybe. How much is the shipping on that 29 one?
$4.47.
It's not awful.
It's not the.
That's actually decent shipping.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to get it though, but I can't. Here I am saying I'm going to quit getting stuff, and then I'm like, oh, but I want that.
Oh, but it's Adam Hughes though, Matt. I mean, you know, Adam Hughes is an artist that if you buy his stuff, it tends to hold value.
That's true.
All right, and that was our last book, Matt. That was it.
We did it.
We did it. So
usually, but sorry about that.
Hey, we gave our opinions. You know, we actually held 3 to 4 people most of the show. So now I'm just going to go through some of my pulls that were for the series that we just talked about. So I'm going to start off with Ghost Pepper. I did pick up, I think this was the 1 in 10. And like we said before, this is the Catwoman 51 homage. I don't own that book, so I try and pick up all the homages. If I can get that one of these days, that would be great. And here's the Big Rig by Peach Momoko.
I love that cover.
Yeah, really cool cover. I wish I could have got one of those foils.
That would be a cool tattoo if you were a tattoo person.
Man, if you have an artist who can recreate that, that would be awesome. But you got to trust your tattoo artist.
Oh, better, yeah. I'll just call Peach up and get her to do it. Like, hey,
yeah,
draw it on my arm for me, and then you can let them tattoo it.
And then I did pick up the black and white Demona. I want to say this was a 1 in 10, the Mark Spears.
That's pretty cool.
And I had to pick up my red shirts. I was obviously going to pick this up.
The really nice artwork. To go on that one. I know there's like a 1 in 25. That one right there is the coolest one.
Yeah, this one's probably the coolest one. If this was a 1 in 25, I definitely would have picked it up. Although I did pick up the 1 in 25. Look, Matt, I'm getting better. That's the way I look at it. I'm not saying I'm good, but I'm getting better.
You are.
And then here is the Adam Hughes 1 in 50 Virgin variant.
Ooh.
Yeah. So like I said,
I want that.
Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. See, $29.99, but I get 20% off at my LCS, so $24. So
they're asking $99 for the 1 in 50 Virgin right now on what guy is.
Whew. I'll sell mine for $99.
I would too.
And then here is Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe, the Mark Brooks cover. Oh, this cover is so good, Matt. And of course, I had to put it with the clear backing board.
You got to do that. Well, it look like that wraparound.
Yep. So those are the ones I had offhand of the number ones we just talked about. So, Matt, you got anything we want to promote from upcoming shows?
Yeah, I got a special Whatnot show coming up next week on the 25th at 6 p.m. And I got these. And if nobody knows, what is that, Matt? I'll show you. They are comic variant packs of Fantastic Four facsimiles. You see, the packs are kind of like card packs. They got 3 comics in them. There's the covers. You got covers from Walt Simonson, Salvador LaRocca, Mark Bagley, and Ron Lim. And I don't know what they're going to go for yet. I have them in my bid. They usually go for about $100. And here's like the packet came and I opened it up. I'll show you some. I opened up the pack just because I had to. I did it because I'm going to give away one of them. And I got
nice.
This is the spot silver foil.
Okay.
For number 1 by Walt Simonson. There's
nice.
A silver, a prism, and a blue foil. Now there are. I got a little card here that tells you like the rarity. There'll be like you have a chance. Okay, the trade dresses are there's 3,000 copies of the trade dress, regular trade dresses like this LaRocca cover.
That's a nice one.
That's $451.
Yeah.
And there's a regular version, and then there's a silver foil, which is the virgin ones. There's 2,000 per cover. The silver, there's 1,000 per cover. So there's only 1,000 of these, and I have one of them. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
And, then the prism foil, there's only 200 of them, and there will be a blue foil available, which will be 100 per issue. And there is a chance to win a signed comic, a signed virgin cover by all 4 artists. Not all 4 of them, but I meant like one of each. There'll be like
I got you.
Version will be signed by Simonson, and then there's going to be a one-of-one Corey Smith sketch that you could win.
Oh.
And I'm going to have them on this coming Friday. I guess it's Friday. The 25th will probably be Friday. And
all right.
Here's like the virgin Bagley. Check that out.
That's nice.
And then there's that Walt Simonson. That's the trade dress foil, silver foil. And look, they're like, you got Dr. Doom up here. And they all look like they're in Victoria in England.
Yeah.
This is LaRocca. I didn't get a Lim one, and I'm going to give this one away as a buyer's giveaway on the show.
Oh, all right. So check out Matt's Whatnot stream.
And there's a good chance to win something cool.
Yeah.
That's all. I could show you some books I got today, but I don't have to. But I'll show you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got another one of these.
Oh, yeah, the milk bone. Those are going crazy right now.
Got ASM 165.
165, nice.
We got Marvel Tales featuring the sensational Spider-Man 193.
Oh yeah, I like those covers that have all the characters on their edge.
Yeah, I've been collecting them. And then I got ASM 348. It's Eric Larson.
Oh, that's a nice one. I love Cap down there.
I won this one. I won a giveaway. Look, he's got Power Pack with him. He's getting ready to like fillet one of them. All right. Well, that's what I got. I thought that'd be nice to share the comic packs. I know some people it's not their thing, but if it is your thing and you like to get cool shit like that, part of my language, show up and make a bid.
And that's Friday, right?
The box has got the in it, so
you know what? If they put a cover of that in one of those, that would be nice. especially
Yeah,
autographed by Pedro or something.
Yeah, that would be. They ought to do that. They should have done that.
You know what? We should be these people who make up their promotions because they don't. They make some cool stuff, but they don't know what fans actually want.
Oh, I know.
All right, Matt. Well, you're going to be on tomorrow night with the Kingdom of Nerds too, right?
Yeah, and I have my
right.
show at 6 p.m. and then at noon Eastern or 12:30 Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Eastern on Monday, we're going to do Bad Cinema. We're doing a movie called Sharkula, so it should be hilarious.
Sharkula. Oh man,
and I have to actually watch that piece of crap tomorrow.
If that's not the definition of bad cinema, Matt, I don't know what is.
Well, I guarantee
Matt,
it didn't win an Oscar.
I appreciate you coming on with me. Thanks for helping me out, Dan. We hope your family feels better. You know, we send our love to you and everything. Everyone who is here, I appreciate you joining in and watching and commenting in the chat. And, appreciate you watching On the Lookout. We'll see y'all next time.